Welcome back to the Rungta IAS Academy channel, everyone, for another highly focused explainer. Today, we're targeting a very high probability topic for your General Studies Paper 3 Economy syllabus. We are talking about the management of unclaimed assets in India. It's a massive structural issue within our financial system, and the Apex Court is currently looking right at it. Joining me today to really decode this for your mains and prelims preparation is my esteemed colleague.
Thank you, sir. Yes, aspirants, this one is absolutely rich with data and regulatory analysis. We've got some crucial ground to cover today that's really going to elevate your answer writing. So, let's just dive right in.
Let's first establish the current affairs trigger. Why are we talking about this right now? Well, a three-judge Supreme Court bench, headed by Justice Vikram Nath, recently heard a very important public interest litigation, or PIL.
Absolutely, and it's really pertinent to mention that this PIL was filed by the prominent financial journalist Sucheta Dalal. Essentially, her core contention before the court was that massive funds lying in dormant or inoperative bank accounts were increasingly just getting swept into government-managed pools. Instead of this kind of opaque system, the petitioner formally asked for a centralized platform, a place to provide transparent information on the financial assets left behind by deceased persons.
Right. So building on that, let's look at the regulatory response. And this brings us to a golden keyword for your prelims, UDGAM. It stands for Unclaimed Deposits Gateway to Access Information. Definitely take a mental note of that acronym.
Exactly. So what is it really? It's essentially a centralized web portal developed and launched by the Reserve Bank of India. Its specific, targeted purpose is to let legal heirs easily identify and trace funds that belong to deceased account holders across multiple banks, all from one single digital dashboard. I mean, it's a real game changer for financial transparency.
Now, let's look at some hard data, pure mains fodder here. The RBI actually submitted a critical update to the Supreme Court during the hearing. They stated that exactly 30 banks have already been fully integrated into the centralized UDGAM portal.
Definitely note this down, aspirants. When you're writing an answer on the RBI's digital initiatives or their efforts to improve banking transparency, citing this exact figure of 30 integrated banks shows the examiner you are fully updated with the absolute latest Supreme Court submissions.
And to really understand the weight of that number, senior advocate Ranjit Kumar, who was appearing for the RBI, highlighted something huge. These 30 integrated banks aren't just random small institutions. They actually account for a massive 90% of the total funds held in the DEF corpus.
That is just a phenomenal statistic. It basically means that by bringing just these 30 major commercial and cooperative banks on board, the RBI has effectively covered the vast majority of the dormant asset problem. The heavy lifting, in terms of sheer volume, has already been done.
Faculty B, so the crucial point here is connecting this dynamic current affair right back to your static economy syllabus. We keep mentioning DEF, which stands for the Depositors Education and Awareness Fund.
Right. Aspirants, remember that the RBI set up this specific corpus back in 2014. Its statutory purpose is to house unclaimed deposits coming from both commercial and cooperative banks. So if an account just sits there completely inactive for 10 years, banking regulations mandate that those dormant funds be transferred directly into this DEF corpus.
Now, returning to the UDGM portal itself, let's look at the actual user adoption rates. The RBI submitted that as of April 1st, there are already around 20 lakh registered users on the portal. Furthermore, those 20 lakh users have conducted an astounding 44 lakh searches. I mean, this brilliantly illustrates a key point for your structural analysis. There is a massive pent-up demand among the Indian public to trace the financial legacy left behind by their relatives. The platform is seeing immediate high-volume utility. People really needed this. Okay, aspirants, pay very close attention here, because this is exactly where the UPSC examiner will try to lay a trap for you in those prelims statement-based questions. Yes, absolutely vital distinction here. The RBI has categorically clarified that UDGAM is strictly an interactive search platform. It does not function as a claims settlement mechanism, okay? The portal only helps you identify and trace where that unclaimed deposit is located. But to actually recover and settle the funds, the claimant still has to physically or digitally approach their respective bank and navigate that specific bank's legal procedure. Basically, UDGAM points you to the money, it doesn't hand it to you. Moving forward, let's bring in the critical analysis you need for a high-scoring mains answer. Because look, the system is still evolving. During the hearing, advocate Prashant Bhushan, appearing for the petitioner, really hit the nail on the head regarding a major structural limitation.
Right, because vast sums of dormant assets held in post offices, various provident funds, and insurance schemes have simply not yet been integrated into the UGDM portal. Because these non-banking financial assets are left out, it's still a severe, ongoing challenge for legal heirs. They're still forced to run from pillar to post, navigating a highly fragmented bureaucracy just to claim a loved one's complete financial portfolio.
Absolutely. And this brilliantly illustrates why the Supreme Court decided further intervention was absolutely necessary. Taking serious note of these precise regulatory gaps, the bench issued immediate directives. Yes, they granted the Center and the Securities and Exchange Board of India, SEBI, exactly 1 week's time. They are strictly required to place the relevant regulatory circulars on record. Plus, SEBI and the Center must clearly outline the actionable steps they are taking to enable the seamless return of these specific unclaimed funds held in non-banking financial institutions. Basically, the court is pushing hard for total cross-sector integration. So to wrap up today's comprehensive explainer, we really want to leave you with a direct, practical application of everything we've just discussed.
Yes, dear aspirants, we are leaving you with this analytical mock question. How can integrating SEBIB and banking institutions solve the challenge of dormant assets? Discuss. We strongly encourage all of you to sit down today and use the data points we provided, the 30 integrated banks, the 90% DAAF coverage, and those critical missing pieces like provident funds and insurance, to practice your answer writing for the GS3 mains exam. Synthesize this information, guys. Keep studying hard, stay focused, and we will see you again soon right here at Rungta IAS Academy.